Today's story is based in Olalla, Washington in the early 1900s. It is such a creepy story. All stories I tell here are true. A lady named Linda Burfield Hazzard started a health sanitarium and called it Wilderness Heights, the Institute of Natural Therapeutics. This health sanitarium she was using to cure the sick by using alternative medicine. She didn't have an official medical license, but was able to practice alternative medicine through some sort of grandfathered license in the state of Washington. Here is a picture of who Burfield was. People spoke of her as a dominant personality. She was able to manipulate and convince people to do what she wanted them to do. We could say she was a sociopath, but after you hear the rest of the story, you might agree with me that she is pure evil. One of her first patients was Daisy Maud Hagland, whose parents owned Alki Point. She came to Wilderness Heights when she heard of this special treatment Burfield was conducting at her sanitarium in Olalla. Burfield's primary source of treatment was fasting. After Daisy came to Wilderness Heights, she was immediately started on this treatment. Her roster of patients just kept growing, and immediately each patient was forced to fast upon arrival. The only catch was, it never ended until death. Some 40 people died under her care, and that's only the ones we know of. Just 50 days after Daisy started her treatment, she died, leaving behind her toddler son, Ivor Hagland, which we know of as the founder of the Ivor's restaurant chain. Not only did she starve her patients, but she would also use massage therapy to beat and pummel them with her fists. People say she would yell, "Eliminate, eliminate," during these beatings. Her third prescription included Enemas that lasted hours at a time. This was a way to weaken her patients to submit to her will. One of her patients from England, she convinced to put her in his will. After 53 days in her care, he died in 1911, and all his money, except $70, went to her. The deaths that accumulated to those 40 known cases, assumed to be many more, were starting to make headlines in the Seattle Daily Times. Children from that time remember seeing skeletal patients wandering in town and in the woods begging for food, but they didn't help them because they were scared of Burfield. Also, Burfield was American, high class, educated, and wealthy. People trusted that she knew best, as most were immigrants that lived in that area. Then she took in the Williamson sisters, heiresses from Great Britain. They were in pretty good health, but they were just convinced that Burfield's treatments could boost their vitality. Not being from the area, they had no knowledge of what was really going on there. The sisters were immediately started on the treatment. As they became skin and bones, they were also kept apart from each other. Claire started questioning the treatment. She was weak and couldn't walk. During this time, Burfield managed to convince Claire to sign over a large portion of the sisters' wealth, and also signed a document to give exclusive rights of their bodies and disposal to Burfield. The sisters' nanny came to Olalla to check on the progress of their treatments. When she arrived, she knew something wasn't right. Burfield told her that Claire was sick and that Dora was not free to leave. She was also wearing Claire's silk gown and hat. The nanny told the family what was going on, and their uncle came to retrieve them. However, Claire had already succumbed to death at just 50 pounds. But Dora was still alive at 60 pounds. The British government pressured Kitsap County, where the city of Olalla was to prosecute the doctor. The county said that they didn't have the funds, so Doris said, "I'll foot the bill." Once the trial began, it showed that Burfield had forged documents to obtain from patients what she couldn't get through starving them. She even forged a diary entry from Claire stating that she wished to give Burfield her diamonds. Linda Burfield was convicted of manslaughter, but spent just 2 years in prison thanks to a governor's pardon. That's the end of today's story. I will upload once a week, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will be notified.